You are about to discover the physics of what happens to your consciousness the instant your heart stops. Forget everything you think you know about death. This is the first chapter of a 10-part epic that reveals the truth, guaranteed to change how you live your life. Make sure you watch all the way to the end of this journey, because in Chapter 10, we will unveil the secret law of wealth from the spiritual realm. The fundamental principle is simple, yet it aligns perfectly with our own science. Energy never dies. You know the law of conservation of energy, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. Well, consciousness is the highest, most refined form of energy in the universe. It doesn't just vanish when the body stops working. Instead, it survives. The process we call dying is nothing more than the uncoupling of two distinct forms of energy, the physical body we see and touch, and something called the perispirit. The perispirit is a semi-material body, an energetic duplicate that acts as the bridge, linking our eternal soul to the temporary matter of our physical form. The separation process is known as disincarnation now. Here's where it gets deeply personal. The smoothness or trauma of this separation is directly tied to the spirit's moral state and its attachment to material things. Imagine a spirit who was greedy, materialistic, or held on to earthly possessions with a death grip. For them, this separation feels like a violent rip, a heavy, dragging sensation as they are torn away from the only reality they valued. It's a painful, disorienting experience. On the other hand, a selfless spirit, one who lived with love, kindness, and detachment from worldly things, experiences something entirely different. For them, the process is a gentle, luminous release. It's like shrugging off a heavy, restrictive cloak they've worn for a lifetime, and finally feeling weightless and free. This single, crucial moment defines the spirit's very first experience in the spiritual world. But how do we maintain our identity? It's all thanks to the perispirit. It holds the energetic blueprint of our physical body. This is why spirits can maintain their human form and unique identity. It ensures the continuity of your personality, your memories, your very self. This is a key proof of survival after death. Let's look closer at this fluidic body. It's connected to the physical body by what's often called the silver cord or fluidic cord. The sensations a spirit feels upon released sickness or heaviness depend on the quality of the fluids they've accumulated throughout their life. Pure thoughts and noble actions create pure, light fluids, resulting in a feeling of buoyancy and freedom. Conversely, negative thoughts and harmful actions create dense, heavy fluids, which cause the spirit to feel weighed down. This is what we call vibratory tuning. So, where do we go? The spirit doesn't instantly go to some distant heaven or hell. Instead, it awakens in a state that is a perfect reflection of its own inner moral landscape. The world it first perceives is a world built by its own thoughts, habits, and desires. This is the first, immediate judgment, and it's not delivered by an external judge. It is a moment of profound self-assessment. Now, what about the light at the end of the tunnel? The luminous assistance is always present, but it can only be perceived by those who are prepared for it, by those whose vibrations are high enough to see it. Spirit guides, loving mentors, and relatives who passed on before form a reception committee. They approach through that very corridor of light so often described in near-death experiences, which is a powerful validation of this spiritual reality. The first moments after separation are dedicated to what can be described as fluidic sedation and mental reorganization. The spirit needs time to adjust to its new, faster vibrational speed and the sheer intensity of its new reality. The ultimate fate of the spirit isn't decided by a heavenly ruler sitting on a throne. It's determined by the spirit's own karmic ledger, a record that becomes instantly and fully accessible to its consciousness. The immediate, unfiltered awareness of all past wrongs and good deeds, every thought, every action is the true day of judgment. The spirit becomes its own judge, its own jury, and its own witness, all in a single flash of understanding. Knowing that death is just a door, not an end, is the greatest source of peace we can find. Immediately after this self-assessment, the law of affinity kicks in. It's like a cosmic sorting mechanism. It instantly separates spirits into their appropriate vibrational levels. The heavy, dense spirits are drawn down to the lower zones, often called the umbral. The light, refined spirits are lifted up to the higher spiritual colonies. And what about us, the ones left behind? Our thoughts have power. The power of prayer and focused, loving thoughts from loved ones on earth acts like a powerful energetic magnet. It can help ease the transition for those who are struggling, providing them with light and strength when they need it most. Everything in this new reality is made from what we call the universal cosmic fluid. It's the raw material of the entire cosmos, and it can be molded and shaped by thought. This proves that the spiritual environment is far more tangible and real than we can possibly imagine on Earth. So, in these first moments, the immediate need isn't for salvation or punishment, it's for education and reformation. The journey has just begun. Did the concept of the Perispirit change your view of death? Hit the like button and let us know. Join the Spiritist Light Journey by subscribing now and activate the bell to continue this 10-chapter discovery. Next, we ask the question, where do the lost souls go? We'll be unveiling the terrifying reality of the umbrella. You won't want to miss it. What if I told you that the most terrifying place you could go after death isn't hell? In fact, it has nothing to do with eternal damnation or a vengeful God. It's a place we create ourselves. A temporary reality built from our own unresolved guilt, anger, and attachments. This place is called the umbral. Understanding this one crucial concept can genuinely protect you and your loved ones from ever falling into this state of self-inflicted suffering. So, stay with me, because what you're about to learn is one of the most misunderstood truths of the afterlife. Let us get one thing straight. The umbral is not a location decreed by some cosmic judge. It's a vibrational zone, a dense, fluidic environment that surrounds the earth. Think of it as a layer of reality created by the accumulated negative thoughts, unbridled passions, and heavy emotions from both those who have passed on and those still living. It functions like a karmic ghetto for souls who leave the physical world deeply attached to material vices, things like greed, intense hatred, obsessive lust, or an all-consuming ego. How does this happen? It's all governed by a simple, universal principle, the law of affinity. Like attracts like. Spirits who vibrate at a similar low frequency, weighed down by the same moral burdens, naturally congregate together. This is where the real horror begins. Imagine being stuck in a room with hundreds of people who are just as angry, desperate, or greedy as you are. Their collective negative energy doesn't just add up, it multiplies, intensifying everyone's suffering in a feedback loop of despair. In the umbral, these souls experience their earthly vices and obsessions in a magnified, often terrifying form, but without the relief or distraction of a physical body. The environment itself is a direct reflection of their inner state. We're talking about landscapes shaped by pure mental anguish. Picture dense, heavy air that feels hard to breathe, a pervasive darkness pierced only by the faint, ghostly light of their own tormented minds. They wander through dark valleys of sorrow, past ruined buildings that represent their broken hopes, and through desolate cities built from oppressive, negative energy. It's a world molded by pain. One of the most tragic aspects of the umbral is the illusion of reality. The spirits there still feel hunger, cold, and pain. Not in a physical sense, because their bodies are gone, but through the deep, lasting imprint these sensations left on their spiritual body, their perispirit. Their minds are so powerful and so fixated on their old habits that they can even create temporary, illusory forms of matter. A spirit tormented by hunger might use its thought power to create the image of food, only to have it dissolve into nothingness as they try to consume it, deepening their despair and frustration. This is a zone of intense mental activity and profound delusion. Many spirits in the umbral don't even realize they're dead. They might believe they're trapped in a horrible nightmare they can't wake up from, or that they're suffering from a cruel, unending illness. They relive their final moments, their obsessions, their arguments, over and over again. This deep denial, this refusal to accept their new reality, is what keeps them chained to that low vibration and prolongs their stay indefinitely. Now, this is where the umbral directly connects to our world, to Earth. Within these dark regions are what we call obsessing spirits. These are disincarnate souls who, in their confusion and desperation, actively cling to living individuals. Who do they target? People who share their same vices. An alcoholic spirit will be drawn to a person who drinks heavily. A greedy spirit will latch on to someone obsessed with wealth. They attach themselves to the living person's energy field and essentially live vicariously through them, draining their vital energy in a process known as fluidic vampirism. This is the unseen, spiritual root of many addictions, chronic depressions, and uncontrollable negative behaviors here on earth. But please, don't see the umbral as a place of eternal punishment. It's not. It's a place of deep, though often painful, learning. The suffering there is medicinal. It's designed by the spirit's own conscience, their own higher self, to act as a fire that burns away the heavy attachments and impurities. It's a harsh but necessary process of purification that prepares the soul for its next step, for its ascent to a better place. And this is the most important part. No one is ever truly alone or abandoned there. Help is always available. From the higher, more luminous, spiritual colonies, brave rescue teams are constantly being dispatched. These are specialized spiritual workers, beings of light and love, who risk their own energetic balance by descending into the heavy atmosphere of the umbral. They go there to offer assistance, to shine a light in the darkness, and to guide lost souls out. But there's a catch. Because of the law of free will, they cannot force anyone to leave. The spirit trapped in the umbral must first want to be helped. They must reach a point where they are willing to ask for it. This requires them to overcome their pride, their stubbornness, and their confusion. The journey out of the umbral begins with a single, sincere thought, a genuine flicker of repentance, a heartfelt desire for change, a plea for help. That one shift in mental frequency is like a flare in the dark, signaling to the rescue teams that the soul is ready. Prayer from us here on earth is also an incredibly powerful tool. When we pray for someone we believe is suffering, either here or in the spirit world, we are not just sending empty words. We are sending a vibrational uplift, a beam of light, love, and positive energy that can penetrate the dense gloom of the umbral, providing strength and clarity to the suffering soul, helping them find the will to ask for help. Ultimately, the best shield against the umbral's influence is the life we live right now. Every act of charity, every moment of selfless love, every effort to control our negative impulses and improve ourselves morally, it all builds up a protective shield of light around our own spirit. It raises our personal vibration, making us incompatible with the low frequencies of the umbral. The suffering there is self-made, which means the path to freedom is also within our own power to create. Do you know someone who is struggling with deep negativity, addiction, or despair? They may be unknowingly connected to these influences. Please, share this video with them. Understanding the spiritual reality behind their struggles can be the first step towards healing. Help us at Spiritist Light Journey spread this essential knowledge by sharing this video with your friends, family, and network. In our next video, we'll explore what happens after a soul is rescued. We'll journey to the other side of the shadows and explore the structure and function of the luminous spiritual colonies, the beautiful realms of light, work, and learning that await us all. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Forget everything you think you know about the afterlife. No clouds, no harps, no eternal boredom. The spiritual realm is a hyper-organized society, far more advanced and dynamic than anything on Earth today. We're taking you inside the famous spiritual colonies, the true heavens described in Spiritist doctrine. This is the grand reveal of what awaits us beyond. The spiritual world isn't just one big, uniform place. It's stratified, layered into different vibrational planes. This isn't some arbitrary division. It's governed by the universal law of affinity. Just as negative thoughts and feelings create the dense, shadow-like realms of the umbral, higher collective moral and intellectual levels create higher vibrational planes. It's on these planes that we find the magnificent spiritual colonies. Imagine vast, organized cities floating in the higher astral planes, just beyond Earth's atmosphere. These aren't just resting places. They are bustling centers for transition, healing, learning, and preparing souls for their next journey. Whether that's a new life on Earth or ascension to even higher realms. The most famous of these is Solar, which translates to our home. It was described in breathtaking detail by the spirit André Louise through the world-renowned medium, Chico Xavier. Solar gives us a blueprint for understanding how these incredible places function. So, how are these cities built? The answer is mind-blowing. They are literally constructed from thought. The architects of these worlds are highly evolved spirits who use their concentrated, pure will to mold the raw material of the universe, what's called the universal cosmic fluid. They shape and solidify this fluid into the structures we see. This is why everything is described as luminous, crystalline, and glowing. The buildings, the parks, the water features, they all radiate a pristine, ethereal beauty, because they are physical manifestations of pure, loving thoughts. This also explains why the environment is perpetually clean. There is no psychic or physical pollution. Life in a place like No Solar is far from idle. It's a life dedicated to purposeful work and continuous study. Spirits don't just lounge around, they are active participants in a vibrant society. They work in various sectors or ministries, each with a crucial function. There's the Ministry of Assistance, which organizes rescue missions to the lower zones and to Earth, helping spirits in distress. There's the Ministry of Communication, which facilitates the connection between the spiritual world and our own, assisting mediums in their work. The Ministry of Documentation is like a gateway to the Akashic Records, the universal library of all knowledge and experience. And then there's the Ministry of Regeneration. The Ministry of Regeneration is essentially a network of advanced spiritual hospitals. Here, a spirit's subtle body, the Perispirit, is healed. The Perispirit carries the imprints of our physical life, the traumas, the guilt, the emotional wounds. In these hospitals, spirits undergo treatments to cleanse and restore their spiritual form, preparing them for a healthier, more balanced existence. At the heart of the colony, you'll find a structure like the governor's palace, which serves as the moral and administrative center, guiding the entire community. One of the most fascinating aspects is the economy. There's no money. The currency is merit, earned through selfless service and the sincere effort to improve oneself. This merit, called your bonus, inosular, determines a spirit's access to resources, housing, and opportunities for further learning. Residences aren't assigned based on wealth, but on a spirit's level of progress and their specific needs for study and recovery. What about daily life? Diet is entirely different. Sustenance comes from fluidic or vibrational energy, absorbed directly through the perispirit. However, for newly arrived spirits who are still attached to their earthly habits, simple, ethereal meals might be provided to help them transition gently. Transportation is just as futuristic. Imagine luminous vehicles, like the Erebus described by André Louise, that glide silently through the city, powered by thought and magnetism. And the libraries. These aren't just buildings with books. They are vast centers of knowledge where spirits can access the Akashic Records, reviewing past lives, understanding karmic lessons, and planning for the future. The connections between residents are profound, built on empathy, shared purpose, and unconditional love. The ultimate goal of life in these colonies is the complete spiritualization of the being. Through work, study, and service, a spirit gradually reduces the density of their perispirit, becoming lighter and more luminous. This process prepares the soul for one of two paths, either ascending to even higher, more sublime planes of existence, or returning to Earth on a mission of love and service, fully prepared and spiritually equipped for the task. It's a journey of continuous, joyous, and purposeful service, all designed to help each spirit realize its cosmic destiny far beyond the confines of a single earthly life. Do you want to visit Nasolar in your dreams? It's said that a sincere desire and a pure heart can open the way. Comment Spiritual City below if you'd like to try. For even more exclusive content on the Nasolar books and the architecture of the afterlife, consider becoming a Spiritist Light Journey member. Your support helps us create more content like this. Thank you for watching. Next time, we'll explore the ultimate life choice, the intricate and profound process of planning your own reincarnation. It might be the toughest, most important agreement you will ever make. Don't miss it. Subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified. Have you ever looked up at the stars and wondered if we're alone? It's a common human thought, but it might be a bit of a vanity mistake to think that Earth is the only place with life. The universe is incredibly vast, almost infinite. And if we believe in a creative force, why would it limit itself to just one tiny planet in a forgotten corner of a galaxy? Spiritism offers a fascinating perspective on this. It suggests that there's life everywhere, not just on Earth, but on countless other worlds, each at a different stage of evolution. So, that starry night sky isn't just a collection of distant fires, it's a neighborhood of homes, each housing souls on their own unique journeys. Imagine a giant, cosmic staircase. Each step is a different world, a different planet, glowing with its own unique color and atmosphere. This is how we can visualize the scale of worlds where souls evolve. At the very bottom, you have the primitive worlds. These are the first incarnations for a soul, a place of instinct and basic learning, where the first sparks of intelligence and morality are kindled. Then, there's a step you might find very familiar, the worlds of trials and expiations. Yes, that's our home, planet Earth. Life here is a mix of good and bad, happiness and sorrow. We're here to learn, to face challenges, to pay off old debts from past lives, and to develop our intellect and moral compass. It's like a tough school, where the lessons are hard but essential for our growth. The pain and suffering we experience aren't punishments, but rather consequences of our own past actions, serving as powerful tools for learning and purification. But we don't stay in this school forever. The next step up is the worlds of regeneration. This is a transitional stage. Here, souls can rest and replenish their energies after the tough lessons of a world like Earth. Evil still exists, but it's much weaker. The dominant desire is for good. The great news is that Spiritism teaches us that Earth is on the verge of becoming a regeneration world. We're seeing the pangs of this transition right now, but the ultimate destination is a more peaceful and harmonious existence right here on our planet. Climbing higher, we reach the happy worlds. Here, good completely outweighs evil. The relationships are based on love and fraternity. The body is less dense, the mind is sharper, and life is dedicated to pursuing knowledge, art, and universal love. Pain and suffering, as we know them, are practically non-existent. It's a world where the soul truly begins to experience the joy of its progress. Finally, at the very top of this cosmic staircase, are the celestial or divine worlds. These are the homes of purified spirits who have reached the highest level of evolution. They live in a state of pure bliss and work directly alongside the creative force of the universe, helping to guide the progress of all other worlds. It's a journey from the first spark of consciousness to becoming a co-creator in the cosmic dance. So, when does a soul finally get to graduate from Earth? When is the earthly journey complete? It happens when we've learned the lessons this school has to offer. When we've reached a level of moral and intellectual development where we no longer need the harsh lessons of pain and karma that define life here. It's not about being perfect, but about consistently choosing good over evil, love over selfishness, and understanding over judgment. When you've purified your spirit to this point, you are freed from the karmic laws that bind you to worlds of trials and expiations. Imagine a figure of pure light, leaving planet Earth behind, not with sadness, but with gratitude for the lessons learned. This soul is then drawn, by natural spiritual attraction, towards a new home, happier realm, a planet bathed in golden light, where the next stage of its infinite journey can begin. This isn't an escape, but a promotion. You've passed the exams, you've earned your diploma, and now you're ready for a higher level of existence. A life free from the heavy burdens we carry on Earth. What are the inhabitants of these more advanced worlds actually like? As you can imagine, they are quite different from us. Their bodies are much more subtle, less dense, almost ethereal. Think of beings of light, with a human-like form but translucent and radiant. They don't suffer from the physical ailments and diseases that plague us. Their lifespan is much longer, and the process of disincarnation, or what we call death, is a gentle, peaceful transition. Communication is also completely different. They don't need spoken language. Their communication is telepathic, a direct transmission of thought and feeling. This means there are no misunderstandings, no lies, and no deceit. Everything is open and transparent. Imagine a society where everyone understands each other perfectly. In these worlds, concepts like hatred, war, envy, or pride simply don't exist. They've been overcome and left behind on lower worlds like ours. These beings live in perfect harmony with each other and with a nature that is lush, vibrant, and shining with its own light. They dedicate their time to creation, study, and helping souls on the worlds below them. It's a glimpse into our own potential future. This is a deep and fascinating topic, isn't it? It really makes you think. So, I want to ask you, if you could choose, what type of world would you like to reincarnate in next? A world of regeneration to rest and rebuild, or perhaps a happy world to experience a life of love and art? Leave your sincere opinion in the comments below. I know this can bring up a lot of questions. To help answer them, we're holding a weekly live session where we dive deep into these spiritual topics. For alerts and more content, make sure to follow Spiritist Light Journey on Instagram, and stick around, because in our next video, we're going to explore the indestructible ties. We'll uncover the true purpose of families. both here on earth and in the spiritual plane, and how these connections of light bind us together across lifetimes. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Have you ever felt a sudden, inexplicable mood swing, or maybe heard a persistent, negative thought in your mind that just didn't feel like it was yours? If so, you might be experiencing something deeper than just a bad day. You may be under what Spiritism calls spiritual attack. But don't worry, this isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. This is your guide to understanding, defending, and liberating yourself. Let's first understand the mechanism of what is called obsession. In Spiritism, this isn't the diabolical possession you see in movies. It's a subtle, yet powerful, reciprocal mental influence between a spirit who is no longer in a physical body, the obsessor, and a person living here on earth, the obsessed. The entire process hinges on a fundamental law of the universe, the law of affinity and vibratory tuning. Think of it like a radio. You can only tune into the stations that are broadcasting on a frequency your radio can receive. An obsessing spirit is often one that is trapped in low vibrational states. They might be consumed by feelings of hatred, a desire for vengeance, or attached to old vices they had in life. They are constantly searching for a mental home, a mind that resonates with their own frequency. When they find an embodied person who cultivates similar habits of thought or behavior, a connection is formed. This isn't just a metaphorical connection. It's a real, energetic link, often described as a fluidic cord. This cord acts like a two-way channel. Through it, the obsessor can project negative suggestions directly into the person's mind, making them think these negative thoughts are their own. They can drain the person's vital energy, leading to constant fatigue, and in more severe cases, they can even manipulate the person's will, pushing them towards actions they wouldn't normally take. The spectrum of obsession is wide. It can start as simple fascination, a mild influence where you find yourself drawn to certain negative ideas or people without really knowing why. It can then escalate to subjugation, where the person's own will is almost completely dominated by the influencing spirit. This is the most severe form, where the individual feels they've lost control over their own mind and actions. Now, let's talk about a specific type of obsession: spiritual vampirism. Many of these influencing spirits are also what we can call fluidic vampires. They cling to the living to absorb their vital fluid, the essential etheric energy that sustains our physical life. They are particularly drawn to individuals who indulge in behaviors that lower the natural defenses of our aura, our spiritual energy field. Addictive behaviors like excessive alcohol or drug use, or any extreme, uncontrolled passion, create breaches in this auric shield. Through these breaches, the obsessor latches on and siphons energy. For them, it provides a temporary, ghostly sensation of being alive again. But for the victim, the consequences are severe. They can suffer from chronic fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix, deep-seated depression that seems to have no external cause, and even physical illnesses that doctors can't diagnose. The energy that's meant to keep their body and mind healthy is being steadily drained away. So, faced with such a reality, what is our defense? Is there a magic ritual or a special amulet that can protect us? The Spiritist perspective is clear and empowering. The only true and lasting defense is inner reform. It's not about an external battle. It's about an internal transformation. Changing your thoughts, your moral habits, and your emotional responses is the key. This is equivalent to changing your personal vibrational frequency. Remember the radio analogy. Inner reform is like changing the station. When you consciously choose to elevate your vibration through moral effort, through acts of charity, through sincere prayer, and through the study of higher truths, you create a frequency mismatch. Your personal energy field begins to resonate at a much higher level. The low vibration of the obsessing spirit can no longer find a foothold. The energetic environment of your mind becomes inhospitable to them. The frequency difference becomes so great that the fluidic connection, the cord that binds you, becomes unstable and eventually breaks. The obsessor is then forced to detach, not by an external force, but by the natural law of affinity. They simply can't tune into your new frequency anymore. This is why the work done in Spiritist centers, known as desobsessão, is so crucial. It's not an exorcism. It's a work of profound charity directed at both spirits involved. For the obsessor, it is an opportunity for education and healing. Compassionate spiritual workers communicate with the afflicted spirit, helping them understand their situation, comforting their pain, and guiding them towards their own path of reform and light. They are treated not as a monster, but as a sick and suffering sibling in need of help. Simultaneously, the obsessed person receives treatment. This involves healing their perispirit, the semi-material body that connects the spirit to the physical body and their mind. Spiritual passes, or fluidic therapy, help to cleanse negative energies, repair the aura, and rebalance the chakras, which are our spiritual energy centers. These chakras are vital in this discussion. They are like spinning wheels of energy that connect our spiritual self to our physical self. They are directly affected by the fluidic influences around us, both positive and negative. A negative influence from an obsessor can block or corrupt a chakra, leading to emotional and physical problems associated with that center. For instance, a blocked heart chakra can manifest as an inability to feel love or connection. Conversely, positive energies from prayer, meditation, and good deeds charge and harmonize our chakras, strengthening our entire spiritual and physical system. The Spiritist light journey emphasizes a core truth. Lasting spiritual health is maintained through our moral conduct, not through external rituals or empty words. It's about what we do, what we think, and how we feel every single day. Cultivating virtues like patience, especially when you feel like screaming. Tolerance, when faced with opinions you despise. And unconditional love, for yourself and for others, acts as an unbreakable spiritual shield. These virtues are not just nice ideas, they are spiritual powerhouses. They generate a high-frequency energy that makes your aura bright, dense, and impenetrable to any form of negative influence. You become a beacon of light, and darkness simply cannot exist in the presence of that light. So, are you ready to start your inner reform today? You don't have to change everything at once. Pick one thing, commit to one virtue in the comments below. Maybe it's patience, or forgiveness, or kindness. Just declare your intention. For more practical guidance on building your spiritual protection and understanding these concepts more deeply, be sure to watch our dedicated playlist on the Spiritist Light Journey channel. Thank you for joining me on this journey of understanding. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next chapter. Next time, we'll explore the healing power of the spirit itself, understanding spiritual illness and the incredible world of perispiritual therapy. See you then. Have doctors struggled to find the true cause of your chronic pain or persistent illness? What if the answer isn't just in your cells or genes, but in your spiritual past? The real root of your suffering might be etched into your very soul. Today, we're going to uncover the profound connection between your spirit and your physical health. According to Spiritist teachings, many physical and psychological illnesses don't start in the body. They begin in the perispirit, the subtle, semi-material body that connects your eternal spirit to your physical form. Think of it as a spiritual blueprint. Diseases are often karmic imprints, the lingering consequences of moral mistakes made in past lives. Actions like violence, intense malice, or self-destructive behaviors can wound the perispirit, disrupting its structure and energetic balance. These spiritual injuries don't just disappear. When a spirit prepares for a new life, a new incarnation, these wounds are projected onto the developing physical body. They can manifest as congenital illnesses, genetic predispositions to certain conditions, or chronic diseases that appear later in life. From this perspective, sickness isn't just random suffering. It's a therapeutic trial, a difficult but necessary lesson. It's an opportunity for the spirit to develop crucial virtues like patience, empathy, resilience, and acceptance. By facing these physical challenges, we are given a chance to heal the original moral wound in the perispirit, addressing the true root cause of our pain. This is where the Spiritist path, or spiritual healing, comes in. You might have heard it called the laying on of hands. This isn't a magical cure, but a scientific process on a spiritual level. The path is a transfer of vital and spiritual energies from the healer, who is assisted by benevolent spirits, to the person receiving it. The goal is to revitalize the patient's own perispirit, rebalance their energy centers, and help the physical body better cope with its illness. Imagine your perispirit has become filled with dense, heavy, morbid fluids due to past mistakes or current negative thoughts. The pass works by replacing these with pure curative fluids, a combination of the healer's vital energy and refined spiritual energy from higher planes. It's like a spiritual transfusion, cleansing the energetic field. However, the effectiveness of the pass isn't just up to the healer. It is directly proportional to the recipient's faith, openness, and most importantly, their genuine moral effort to change their thoughts and behaviors. The pass is a powerful auxiliary treatment designed to complement, not replace, conventional medicine. It doesn't just treat the symptoms, it heals the soul's wounds. To understand this energy transfer, we need to talk about the chakras. These are the primary energy transducers of our spiritual body. There are 7 major chakras, each linked to specific aspects of our physical and emotional well-being. First, at the top of the head, is the coronary chakra. This is our direct link to the higher spiritual planes, our connection to divine wisdom and our spiritual guides. It governs our spiritual consciousness and integration with the universe. Below that, on the forehead, is the frontal chakra, often called the third eye. This center governs our intuition, clairvoyance, intellect, and mental clarity. An imbalance here can lead to headaches, vision problems, and a lack of focus. Next is the laryngeal chakra located in the throat. It controls our communication, our ability to express our truth, and our creativity. Blockages here can manifest as thyroid issues, sore throats, or difficulty in speaking honestly. At the center of the chest is the cardiac chakra. This is the seat of love, compassion, and emotional balance. Spiritual disturbances like deep-seated hatred, resentment, or unforgiveness can block this chakra, contributing to heart problems, circulatory issues, and a lack of empathy. Moving down, we have the solar plexus chakra, located in the upper abdomen. It's our power center, governing our will, self-esteem, and control over our emotions. Intense fear, anger, or pride can disrupt this center, leading to digestive problems, ulcers, and liver issues. Below that is the sacral chakra, in the lower abdomen. It's linked to our emotions, sexuality, and creative life force. Imbalances can result in reproductive health issues and emotional instability. Finally, at the base of the spine is the basic chakra, or root chakra. This connects us to the earth and grounds our physical energy. It's the foundation of our vitality and survival instincts. Disturbances here can affect our physical energy levels and connection to the material world. In the spiritual colonies, particularly in realms known as the ministries of regeneration, spirits are treated for these very imbalances. Between lives, or after difficult periods in lower spiritual zones, spirits undergo advanced fluidic and mental therapies to heal their perispirit. Highly evolved spiritual technicians use technologies far beyond our current understanding to cleanse and repair these energy centers, preparing the spirit for its next evolutionary step. Whether that's a new incarnation or a higher mission, they understand that true health is the harmonious integration of our moral, spiritual, and physical bodies. This state of balance is only achieved through constant self-analysis, forgiveness, and a commitment to doing good. So, the next time you face a health challenge, consider looking deeper. While you follow your doctor's advice, also ask yourself, what is my soul trying to learn? What old wounds am I being given the chance to heal? True, lasting health begins from within. Do you believe in the power of spiritual healing? If this message resonates with you, consider giving us a super thanks to support our mission of spreading this light. For more daily spiritual guidance and deeper insights, make sure to follow Spiritist Light Journey on all our platforms. Thank you for joining us. Up next, we'll explore the concept of the cosmic family and understand the role of extraterrestrial life in the great spiritual plan of the universe. Stay with us. Ever wondered if there's life beyond Earth? What if I told you that not only is the universe teeming with life, but that Earth is just one stop on an infinite cosmic journey for your soul? The Spiritist doctrine, a philosophy that merges science, religion, and philosophy, offers a fascinating perspective on this. It suggests that our universe is filled with countless inhabited worlds, each serving as a unique school for spirits at different stages of their evolution. Earth, as we know it, is not the final destination, but simply one classroom in a vast cosmic university. This cosmic hierarchy can be imagined as a ladder. At the very bottom are the primitive worlds. Life there is rudimentary, and the spirits inhabiting them are just beginning their long journey. Their experiences are marked by raw instinct and basic survival, a far cry from the complex societies we know. One step up, we find the worlds of trials and expiations. Does that sound familiar? It should, because according to this view, our very own Earth is one of them. These are worlds defined by the constant struggle between good and evil. Here, we face challenges, we make mistakes, and hopefully, we learn from them. The suffering and difficulties we experience are not random punishments, but opportunities for our spirits to grow, to atone for past errors, and to strengthen our moral fiber. It's a tough school, but a necessary one for progress. But the good news is, we aren't stuck here forever. The next stage is the worlds of regeneration. Imagine a planet where good has finally triumphed over evil. War, deep-seated hatred, and widespread suffering are things of the past. Evil still exists, but it's a rare exception, not a dominant force. The inhabitants live in a state of relative happiness and peace, focused on recovery and further purification of the soul. This isn't a utopia of idleness. It's a world of active, constructive progress, where society is built on a foundation of understanding and cooperation. And this is where it gets truly exciting. Many believe that Earth is right now in the midst of a profound transformation, a planetary transition from a world of trials and expiations to a world of regeneration. Think about the intense turmoil, the global crises, and the rapid social changes we're witnessing. From this spiritual perspective, these aren't just random chaotic events. They are the growing pains of a world being reborn. During this transition, a kind of spiritual sorting takes place. Spirits who are deeply attached to negativity, who resist change and cannot adapt to the planet's rising vibrational frequency, are being gently guided to re-embody on other worlds that are a better match for their current state, other worlds of trials and expiations where they can continue their lessons. This isn't a punishment, but a compassionate relocation, allowing every soul to learn at its own pace. Meanwhile, those spirits who have made the conscious choice for love, for compassion, and for moral growth get to stay. They will be the pioneers of the new earth, a regenerated world. In this new era, the epidemics that plague us, the wars that divide us, and the bitter hatred that poisons our hearts will cease to exist. Humanity will finally begin to live in true brotherhood, building a society based on the principles of love and justice that have been taught by great spiritual masters throughout history. But the journey doesn't end there. Beyond the worlds of regeneration lie even more sublime realms. First, we have the happy worlds. Here, spirits have shed the last vestiges of malice. Goodness is the air they breathe. Their focus shifts from moral struggle to the boundless exploration of science, art, and philosophy, all deeply integrated with a profound spiritual understanding. Life is a symphony of joy, learning, and creation. In these advanced worlds, the physical form as we know it becomes unnecessary. The inhabitants no longer need dense, heavy bodies. Their forms are ethereal, often described as fluidic or luminous, perfectly reflecting the purity of their spirit. Communication is no longer limited by spoken words. It's a direct, instantaneous transmission of thought and feeling, a true meeting of minds and hearts. There are no secrets, no misunderstandings, only pure, transparent connection. Finally, at the pinnacle of this cosmic ladder, we find the celestial or divine worlds. These are the homes of pure spirits, beings who have achieved a state of near perfection. They exist in complete harmony with the universal laws and the divine will. They are no longer students in the material sense, but have become co-creators with God, serving as guides, mentors, and protectors for all the worlds below them. Their existence is one of pure love, wisdom, and selfless service to the entire cosmos. The ultimate goal of this entire cycle of reincarnation, of moving from world to world, is to achieve this state of spiritual perfection. It's a journey to shed the layers of ego and materialism, allowing the pure light of our spirit to shine through until we are fully united with the divine source. The path is long, perhaps infinite, but it always leads upward, toward greater light and greater love. A spirit that finally graduates from a material world like Earth doesn't just disappear. It has accumulated immense wisdom and a boundless capacity for love. Its new purpose becomes one of cosmic service, helping other souls who are still on their own climb up the ladder of evolution. So, do you feel this shift happening? Have you noticed changes in yourself or in the world around you that suggest we are moving towards something new? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If this cosmic journey resonates with you, make sure to subscribe to our channel and join our growing community of spiritual explorers. Thanks for watching. For all the skeptics out there, this one's for you. We're often told that belief in an afterlife is a matter of faith, a comforting story we tell ourselves. But what if there was undeniable evidence? What if science itself was pointing towards the reality that our consciousness, our very identity, continues after the body dies? Today, we're diving deep into the medical and technological proof that is shaking the foundations of materialism. We're not talking about blind faith. We're talking about data, research, and repeatable phenomena. This is where science meets spirit, and the findings are truly extraordinary. Let's start with a phenomenon many have heard of, the near-death experience, or NDE. Across every culture, every religion, and every walk of life, the stories are astonishingly consistent. People who have been declared clinically dead report traveling through a tunnel of light, undergoing a rapid life review, and meeting beings made of pure light and love. Skeptics might dismiss this as a hallucination from a dying brain. But here's the problem with that theory. Many of these complex, lucid experiences happen when the brain shows absolutely no measurable activity on an EEG. The brain is flatlined, yet the person is having the most profound experience of their life. How is that possible? Spiritism offers a clear, scientific framework to understand this. The NDE isn't a brain event, it's a spiritual one. It's a temporary, partial detachment of what we call the Perispirit, the semi-material body, that connects our spirit to our physical form. For a brief moment, the spirit gains lucidity and is able to perceive the spiritual realm directly. That life review, it's the spirit's natural confrontation with its own soul memory, sometimes called the Akashic record, triggered by the intense energetic shift of near death. The consistency of these reports isn't cultural conditioning. It's evidence that people are all experiencing the same underlying reality. The brain doesn't create consciousness, it receives it. When the receiver is turned off, consciousness doesn't cease to exist, simply experiences reality from a different, higher perspective. Now, let's move from personal experience to hard technology. Have you ever heard of instrumental transcommunication, or ITC? This is where things get really fascinating. ITC is the phenomenon of capturing voices, images, and even text messages from what are believed to be spirits, using everyday electronic equipment. We're talking about radios, televisions, computers, and telephones. Pioneers like Konstantin Radiv spent decades recording thousands of voices on radios tuned to white noise. These weren't random snippets of radio broadcasts. They were clear, intelligent voices that would respond to questions in real time. They would identify themselves, send messages to loved ones, and discuss life in their dimension. Skeptics argue it's just random static or misinterpretation, but modern ITC researchers have moved far beyond simple radio recordings. They've received full images on disconnected television screens and paragraphs of text on computers that are unconnected to any network. The sheer volume and intelligence of these communications defy explanation by random chance. ITC aims to bypass the human element of mediumship, providing direct, mechanical proof of communication between our world and the next. It's a technological bridge between the two planes of life, and the data it provides offers powerful empirical support for the survival of the individual personality after death. These are not just blips on a machine. They are intelligent beings, our loved ones, reaching out to say, "We are still here." Perhaps the most compelling scientific evidence for the SOL's journey comes from the field of reincarnation research. For over 40 years, Dr. Ian Stevenson at the University of Virginia meticulously investigated thousands of cases of young children who spontaneously recalled past lives. These weren't vague, dreamlike memories. These children, often between the ages of 2 and 5, would provide specific, verifiable details, names of people, descriptions of villages they'd never been to, and even the exact manner of their previous death. Dr. Stevenson and his team would then travel to these locations, often hundreds of miles away, and confirm the details with stunning accuracy. They found the families the child spoke of, confirmed the names, and validated the life events. In some cases, children were even born with birthmarks or physical deformities that corresponded precisely to fatal wounds from their previous life, confirmed by autopsy reports. This isn't anecdotal evidence. It's a massive, cross-referenced body of data that strongly points to one conclusion: the consciousness, the personality, carries over from one life to the next. Building on this, we have the work of psychiatrists like Dr. Brian Weiss, who stumbled upon past life recall through hypnosis while treating patients for phobias, anxieties, and chronic pain. He found that under deep hypnosis, They would spontaneously regress to previous lifetimes where the root trauma occurred. By reliving and understanding these past life events, his patients were often miraculously cured of ailments that had plagued them for years. This therapeutic application, known as past life regression, further validates the concept of a continuous soul. The healing isn't just in the mind, it's in the spirit. It shows that our soul carries memories and traumas across lifetimes, and that by accessing and healing our spiritual history, we can find profound healing in the present. Spiritism has always embraced these scientific findings. It doesn't see them as a threat, but as external validation of its core principles, which have been discussed for over 160 years. However, the Spiritist light journey also emphasizes that the ultimate proof isn't external, but internal. It's the moral and intellectual coherence of the doctrine itself. Spiritism provides logical, rational answers to life's biggest questions. Why is there suffering? Why is there injustice? What is our purpose? It doesn't ask for blind faith. In fact, one of its central tenets is this: unwavering faith is only that which can meet reason face to face in every human epoch. The goal is to bridge the gap between faith and reason, science and spirituality, showing they are not enemies, but two sides of the same coin, both leading us toward a greater understanding of reality. All of this research, from NDEs to ITC to reincarnation, points to the continuous, evolving identity of the spirit. We are not our bodies. We are eternal beings on an incredible journey of growth and learning. So, which piece of scientific proof impressed you the most? Was it the brain-off awareness of NDEs, the technological communication of ITC, or the verifiable memories of reincarnation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to support our mission to create more videos exploring the science of the soul, please consider supporting the Spiritist Light Journey. Stay tuned, because next time, we're exploring the surprising connection between money and morality. You won't want to miss the secret link between karma and your financial life. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Why do some people struggle with money their whole lives, while others seem to attract wealth without even trying? Is it just luck, or is there something deeper at play? The answer might surprise you. It's karma. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden spiritual laws that govern your financial abundance and show you exactly how to unblock your flow. Financial prosperity isn't random. Just like everything else in the universe, it follows the law of cause and effect. How you earned and used your wealth in past lives directly creates a karmic debt or credit that you carry into this life. Think about it. Spirits who were once greedy, who used their power to exploit others, or who hoarded resources without a thought for anyone else, often choose to be born into challenging financial situations. This isn't a punishment. It's a profound spiritual lesson. They choose these circumstances to learn humility, to understand the true value of resources, and to experience the importance of sharing and community. It's a tough school, but the lessons are invaluable for the soul's growth. On the other hand, what about those souls who were generous and ethical, the ones who used their wealth to benefit others, to uplift their communities, and to contribute to the greater good? They created a powerful spiritual credit. In this life, that credit often manifests as material ease and financial opportunity. It's not about being rewarded with a life of luxury for its own sake. Instead, the universe provides them with the resources they need to continue their mission of service on a larger scale. Their past generosity has opened the channels for abundance to flow freely through them once more. This brings us to a crucial concept: the flow of giving and receiving. Spiritual prosperity isn't about having a massive bank account. It's defined by the continuous, healthy flow of resources through your life. The universe operates on a principle of infinite abundance, but to tap into it, you must become a willing and ethical channel. When you hoard wealth, whether it's money, knowledge, or even your time, you essentially build a dam. You block the natural flow. This doesn't just lead to material stagnation, it creates spiritual stagnation as well. The energy becomes stuck, and so do you. This is why giving is so important. True charity isn't just an obligation or something you do to look good. It's a powerful investment in your spiritual and financial future. When you give with a sincere and joyful heart, without expecting anything in return, you generate a potent form of positive energy. This energy doesn't just disappear. Under the universal principle of compensation, it returns to you, often multiplied. It might not come back in the exact same form, but the universe always balances the scales. Giving opens the floodgates, ensuring that as you give, you also receive, keeping the cycle of abundance moving. Now, let's talk about work. Your career and how you approach it are huge factors in your financial karma. Work that is done with a selfless, service-oriented attitude accrues positive karma. When your primary motivation is to help others, to create value, and to contribute positively to the world, you align yourself with the forces of prosperity. But if your work is driven solely by ego, by a desire for power, or by exploiting others for personal gain, you generate a significant negative debt. This karmic debt can manifest as financial blockages, professional failures, and a deep sense of unfulfillment, no matter how much money you make. This energetic reality is reflected in our own subtle bodies, specifically in our chakras. The solar plexus chakra, located in your upper abdomen, governs your personal power, self-esteem, and will. The heart chakra, in the center of your chest, governs love, compassion, and giving. Your financial reality is heavily influenced by the balance between these two energy centers. An overactive or imbalanced solar plexus can lead to excessive materialism, greed, and a me-first attitude. Conversely, a blocked heart chakra, combined with a weak solar plexus, can create a victim mentality, a feeling of powerlessness, and a paralyzing fear of poverty. True prosperity requires both a strong sense of self-worth and an open, giving heart. They must work in harmony. Here at Spiritist Light Journey, we advocate for what we call spiritual prosperity. This isn't about chasing millions. It's about cultivating an abundance of moral wealth first: patience, love, peace, and integrity. When you are rich in these qualities, you naturally attract the material sufficiency that is necessary for your soul's unique mission on earth. The real secret is to shift your entire focus from having to serving. When you start asking, "How can I help?" instead of "What can I get?" you transform your entire reality. Financial trials are no longer seen as curses, but as powerful opportunities for moral growth, for developing resilience, and for practicing generosity even when it's hard. This is how you master the law of financial flow. So, are you ready to change your relationship with money? Will you commit to creating wealth ethically and using it for the greater good? Let us know in the comments by writing, "I will serve." Your declaration sends a powerful signal to the universe. And if you've found value in this message, please consider helping Spiritist Light Journey continue its mission. You can find a donation link in the description below. Every contribution helps us spread this light further. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Up next, we reach the grand finale of our series. We'll be revealing the secret code of happiness and exploring the ultimate purpose of life. You won't want to miss it. Please like, share, and subscribe so you can continue this journey with us. After a long and transformative journey through 9 chapters, you are finally here, at the climax. You are now ready to receive the ultimate truth, the final lesson. This is the secret code of happiness, the simple yet profound formula that unlocks the purpose of your infinite existence and elevates your soul to the highest cosmic planes. What is the ultimate purpose of life? So many philosophies and religions have tried to answer this, but the answer is both simpler and grander than you might imagine. The purpose of life is not about a singular salvation, but about unending, continuous progress. It's a journey toward moral and intellectual perfection, a path that ultimately leads to complete unity with the Creator. The mechanism that makes this eternal progress possible is the law of reincarnation, which we've explored in depth. And the fuel for this entire cosmic engine, it is love. The final goal, the destination we are all striving for, is to become a pure spirit. Imagine a being of immense knowledge and power, free from the cycles of material life. But more than anything, a pure spirit is a being of pure, unconditional love, entirely dedicated to cosmic service. Reaching this state signifies the end of obligatory reincarnations in physical worlds like Earth. It's the ultimate graduation. So, how do we get there? And how do we find happiness along this epic journey? This is where we find the code of happiness, the Spiritist formula. True, lasting happiness isn't found in what you own, where you live, or what others think of you. It's not in external possessions or circumstances. It is found entirely within the internal state of your soul. This code is a powerful triad, 3 pillars that support a life of joy and purpose. The first pillar is unwavering faith. This isn't blind belief. It's a deep, rational trust in God's perfect justice and loving providence. It's the understanding that nothing happens by chance, that every event, every challenge, is part of a divine plan for your growth. It's knowing, with every fiber of your being, that you are always guided and cared for, even in the darkest moments. The second pillar is active charity. This is selfless service to others. It's the practical application of love. Charity is not just giving money, it's giving your time, your patience, your compassion, your forgiveness. It's seeing the divine spark in every single person and acting to help them on their own journey. Active charity is the most powerful tool for dissolving negative karma and accelerating your spiritual evolution. The third and final pillar is self-knowledge. This is the journey of inner reform and moral discipline. It means looking honestly at yourself, identifying your imperfections, your pride, your selfishness, your envy, and working diligently, day by day, to transform them into virtues. It is the conscious effort to become a better person today than you were yesterday. Unwavering faith, active charity, and self-knowledge. These three pillars form the code, and what holds them all together. What is the synthesis of this entire formula? It is love. The supreme law of the universe was given to us by Jesus Christ. Love one another as I have loved you. The perfect, unconditional application of this law dissolves all karmic debt and opens the doors to the celestial worlds. Think back on everything we've covered in the previous 9 chapters. Every trial, every sorrow, every challenge, from the struggles in the umbral to the complex relationships within our karmic families, it was all designed for one purpose: to teach us how to perfectly and unconditionally apply love. Every moment was a lesson, a divine opportunity to practice forgiveness, patience, and compassion. As you approach the end of this physical life, what will your legacy be? The Spiritist light journey teaches us that the only legacy that truly matters is the moral refinement of your soul and the good you did for others. Upon disincarnation, the spirit leaves everything material behind. All the wealth, all the fame, all the earthly status, it all vanishes. But what you take with you is far more valuable. You take every virtue you acquired, every act of kindness you performed, every lesson of patience you learned. This moral treasure is the true currency of the spiritual world. It is what determines your immediate destiny after you cross the veil. This journey is eternal, but the power is always in the now. Every choice you make today, right now, is building the foundation for the next million years of your existence. So, embrace your mission. Forgive those who have hurt you, not for their sake, but for your own freedom. And love without condition, without expectation, without limits. This is the eternal code. This is the key to everlasting happiness and your ascension as a pure spirit. This is your commitment moment. If this 50-minute journey has resonated with you, if it has sparked a transformation in your heart, then your mission now is to share this ultimate code. Don't let this flame die out. Subscribe to Spiritist Light Journey, share this video with everyone you think needs to hear it, and most importantly, start living the code of love today. For more guidance, click the link in the description for our free guide on starting your inner reform. Thank you for walking this path with us.